And we are back. Welcome to Mor-In the Know podcast. If you don't know, now you know with yours truly, Josh Morin. Today's podcast is sponsored by Trials and Tribulations Clothing. Check them out at trialsandtribulation.com and on Instagram, as well as my company, Fueled Supplements. You can find us at fueledsupplements.com. We have 20 different products to choose from and definitely one to fit your goals and needs. Woo, baby, it has been a minute since I've done my own podcast. I have been on State of Affairs with Roberto, and Roberto and I are releasing some of these podcasts in the upcoming weeks. So I'm very excited to have some more dynamic perspective on my platforms, especially with the podcast. Obviously, my podcast is really more straight to the face. It's a monologue. So it's just me speaking to you guys as if you're in here in the same room as me and keeping this short and sweet to about 10 to 12 to 15 minutes. The podcasts I'm doing on State of Affairs are anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour. So I'm really excited for the viewers that are wanting more detail on some of the information that I speak about instead of the sprint that I do here on Mor-In the Know podcast. With that being said, today's content I want to deliver on is it's never too late to rebrand yourself. Many times over my life, I have found ways to reinvent who I was in the public side as well as who I was internally. But to do it authentically, to be able to change yourself externally, you must change yourself first internally. Let me say that again. To change yourself externally, you must change yourself internally. So if you want to rebrand yourself as something completely different, reinvent yourself as something new, you must have that newness and that rebranding within you. Otherwise, it's going to be a contradictory message from what you're saying on the outside, but what you're feeling and vibrating on the inside. Now, for me, what has happened over the course of the last few years is I've rebranded myself from this mountain man outside in the wild, survivalist on the Discovery Channel, long-haired hippie with a big beard, living from couch to couch, pretty much had all my belongings in a backpack, drove a shitty Toyota T100, to finally cutting my hair, being clean cut, and now I've ran a business successfully over the last 5 years. The only difference is I have changed who I was internally before I've started to see success externally. Now, who I was as that mountain man, that wild man, that couch surfer, that doobie smoking no-shoe hippie, who I was then was who I was on the inside. I absolutely was that person. And who I am now, the person who is committed to the daily disciplines of success, the businessman, the entrepreneur, the success coach, the one who is now sober for almost 2 years, I'm that person within myself. So I can never project outside of me that in which I'm not inside of me. The person that I am on the outside is absolutely who I am on the inside. I'm committed daily. I care about my nutrition, and my aesthetic is simply a result of my daily discipline to self and mastery of self, mastery of the little things that compound to make the biggest difference. Now, I do make my bed every morning. I brush my teeth. I work out and I exercise regularly. I track my meals, my food. I have a couch. That is mine, not one that I'm sleeping on. I have my own truck, my own vehicle, and I take care of the things that I own. Deep down, do I still have the many qualities that I had as a mountain man, the hippie, the barefooted wild man that was going from couch to couch, city to city, adventure to adventure? I absolutely am. But now I've really developed a new me. So it's never too late to rebrand yourself and reinvest in something new. And that something new may be a new chapter in your life, but if you keep revisiting the old chapters, you'll never be able to write new ones. So that's really the message, is we continually want to rewrite, or I want to say even rewrite, we continually want to write new chapters of our life, but we're still stuck in the old ones. We're still stuck in the old people, our old habits, our old mindset. But until we develop new mindsets, new disciplines, and the disciplines and the skill sets necessary to achieve that in which you desire, then you'll always be where you've always have been. You'll always get what you've always gotten. But it's not too late. You didn't miss the ball. You didn't miss the boat. And today is the best day to plant a tree. The other best time was 50 years ago, but today is the best day to plant a tree unless you planted that tree 50 years ago. So if you wanted to do something that you've never done before, or you've been on the boat about fully committing, this is the message. Jump in. Make the commitment. Take the leap. Because guess what? One day at a time, compounded over a year, you can see major dividends in your life, your finances, your health, your success, your aesthetic, your relationships. You're going to see major change in the direction of your life, but it starts today within. But it's not too late. For me personally, it was stop posting all these thirst traps with absolutely zero content because I seeked validation so much. I wanted fucking likes so bad, and I wanted to be liked, and I wanted to be noticed so bad that I had to put myself out there. Now the content that actually delivers, and the content that I used to say, oh man, that's the content that never gets any, because that was my mindset. Now what's so crazy is this content now gets way more engagement than the content that I post with me having less clothes on. And that is phenomenal. But the reason why that's been changed is I decided to reinvent myself through my message. And over time, as you reinvent yourself with your message, guess what happens? Is the old becomes the old, and that gets wiped away, and the new becomes your new reality, your new identity. But if you continually tell yourself the same story over and over again, saying, well, I don't get the likes, I don't get the engagements, like this only got 100 likes and this photo got 700 likes because I'm a girl and I'm showing my ass and my titties. Well, of course, because the followers that you have acquired over the last however many years is following your content for that. But I get it so many times is I want to reinvent myself as a success coach. I want to reinvent myself as a trainer, and I want to do other things because this isn't ultimately who I am. Trust me, I get it. I've been there. If you've been following my content for a while, I got caught up in that a few years ago. I got caught up in the metrics, the analytics, the numbers, the likes, the comments. But now the numbers, the likes, the comments, and shares are within posts that actually matter. So if you want to deliver a message through social instead of just flaunting your ass, your titties, your abs, then do it. If that's what you want to do, I have no hate. You can do whatever you'd like. I'm supporting you in whatever way, in whatever direction you do, but if deep down that's not who you are internally, and you're simply doing that for this attention that is falsified, this falsified attention that doesn't even matter, because that's ultimately not who you are at your core, then it's never too late to reinvent yourself. Make the change today, and slowly over time, you'll see change in your life. You'll see change in relationships. You'll see change in your finances. You'll see change in the inner energetic fields, the etheric energy that you have within you. You will absolutely raise your vibration and begin to transcend the levels of consciousness because you step into a place of courage. If you're always in fear, doubt, anxiety, shame, rejection, abandonment, apathy, and guilt, you're always going to live in your lower self. But when you make that change and you step into your up higher self, when you say, you know what, today is the day. Today is that absolute day that I'm going to take the leap. I'm going to make the change one day at a time. Then guess what? Change happens one day at a time. And that's my beef with 75 Hard. Is, okay, that's great, 75 days hard, and of course you're going to develop some new habits and you're going to see some results over that time, but what happens after that 75 days, and what I've seen so many times is people fall off after the 75 days. Cool, you're sober 75 days. How about being sober one day at a time for the rest of your life? How about eating clean one day at a time for the rest of your life? How about exercising one day at a time with proper rest days for the rest of your life? How about reading books one day at a time for the rest of your life? Not 75 hard. How about the rest of your life in ease and effortless flow? How about the rest of your life? Not 75, but the rest of your life. That's my message. Is you can reinvent yourself, rebrand yourself, but it's not 30 days hard. It's not 60 days hard, 75 days hard, or 90 days hard. It's one day at a time in a relaxed body that produces results. It's one day at a time in a relaxed body that understands cause and effect, why you do what you do. You can begin to separate yourself from the events that have shaped your feelings. And as you do that, you enter an etheric energy field that you've never been in before, which is courage. And when you step into courage, you're in a place of honesty. Where, for me, my biggest fear is all the people who I lied to, stole from, cheated on, were seduced, were all in the same room. And I had to stand in front of them, because who was I going to be then? But true humility is when you can own up to the things that you have done. where you no longer can be humiliated. That's the definition of being humble, is those who can no longer be humiliated. That's true humility. And if you live in humility, rigorous honesty, rigorous candor, acceptance, then guess what? You're going to raise your vibration. You can begin to detach yourself from these toxic relationships that no longer serve you. And as you detach yourself from the past, your trauma, the people who have violated you, the perpetrators, the violators, those who've gaslighted and ghosted you, you're going to enter an etheric field, a new energy that you've never felt before. And this energy field is the rebranded you, because you invested in yourself one day at a time. Not 75 hard. One day at a time in ease and effortless flow. Relaxed. In power. 75 hard is so much force. It's like this, like you're forcing yourself to do something. If you got to force yourself to do something, there's always going to be a counterforce. And that counterforce, ultimately, at the end of it, is going to be you going against the simple disciplines that you've practiced for 75 hard, because you had to make yourself do it. If you got to make yourself do something, it's not right. You should be able to be in your body, produce results, sit your ass in a chair, be able to do the podcast, make the phone calls, do the sales scripts, make the posts, do the lives. Create the content with ease and effortless flow. That's my message today. It's never too late to rebrand yourself. But to rebrand yourself on the outside, you must reinvest who you are and completely change your paradigm and your etheric energy field on the inside. If you don't know, now you know. Now you're more in the know. With yours truly, Josh Morin. Thank you for tuning in to More in the Know podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get this channel popping and share this message with somebody that you love today.